안녕하세요, 원다입니다. 한국전쟁이 올해로 71주년을 맞았습니다. 1953년 7월 정전협정이 체결되었을 때 한국의 모습은 완전히 망가진 폐허의 모습이었습니다. 지금 한국의 모습과 그때의 모습을 비교해보면 100년도 채 되지 않는 70여 년이라는 그 짧은 기간 동안 얼마나 눈부신 발전을 이루어냈는지 그 누구도 놀라지 않을 수 없을 정도입니다. 특히 그때의 모습을 생생히 기억하고 있던 분들에게는 더 충격적인 모습이죠. 70년 전의 모습만 기억하다가 70년 만에 한국 땅을 밟은 사람들은 자신이 한국이 아닌 다른 나라에 잘못 도착한 것이 아닌가 하고 자신의 눈을 의심할 정도라고 합니다. 그때의 모습을 생생히 기억하고 있는 대표적인 분들이 바로 한국전쟁에서 참전했던 UN 참전용사들입니다. 미 공군 307 폭격편대에서 B-29 폭격기 사수로 복무했던 톰 스티븐스 씨는 정전협정 후 처음으로 한국을 방문했을 때 길거리 간판들에 적힌 한국어가 아니었다면 그는 자신이 한국이 아닌 다른 도시에 잘못 착륙한 게 아닌가 하고 자신을 의심할 뻔했다고 말합니다. 수많은 네온 간판들과 고층 건물 등의 대도시 모습을 보며 자신이 뉴욕시에 있다고 착각했을 정도로 엄청나게 발전된 한국의 모습에 놀라움을 금치 못했다고 합니다. 미국 내 한국전쟁 참전용사협회 회장을 맡고 있는 커닝햄 씨는 북한군이 낙동강까지 밀고 내려와 모든 것이 폐허로 변했던 한국의 모습이 아직도 생생히 기억난다며 한국이 세계에서 손꼽히는 정도의 최첨단의 나라로 발전한 것이 참으로 기쁘고 자랑스럽다고 말합니다. 지금 세계적인 경제 강국이 된 한국의 모습을 보며 전쟁 당시 전우들의 희생과 그들의 참전이 정말 가치 있는 일이었음을 느낄 수 있어 너무 고맙다고 말합니다. 전쟁 당시 수원의 미 전투비행단에서 무전기 수리를 담당했던 찰스 게로드 씨는 한국을 떠날 당시 북한의 공격으로 모든 건물들이 무너져 그 형체를 알아볼 수 없었던 상황이 기억난다고 말합니다. 하지만 한국 국가보훈처 초청으로 한국을 방문했을 때 완전히 변한 서울의 모습을 보고 놀라움을 감추지 못했다고 말했습니다. 전쟁의 폐허 속에 아무것도 없었던 나라가 분주한 대도시로 발전한 모습이 마치 영화 오즈의 마법사를 보는 것 같았다고 합니다. 몇 세대에 걸쳐 전쟁의 절망을 떨쳐내고 이렇게 위대한 나라를 만든 한국인들은 정말 특별한 사람들이라고 그는 거듭 강조했습니다. 또한 한국전쟁 참전 당시 임진강에서 보병 제3연대 소속으로 싸웠던 레리 키너드 씨는 한국은 그동안 참전용사들을 한국에 초청하여 감사하는 마음을 전하기 위해 많은 것들을 해왔다며 참전용사들에게 한국만큼 감사를 표하는 나라는 없다고 말합니다. 미국의 유명 방송 ABC에서도 한국 전쟁에 참전한 분들에 대한 이야기를 취재하고 방영했습니다. 함께 보시죠.
Juju has shown us today's Korea, a technical innovator and economic powerhouse. But it is also the center of a long and bitter conflict that the U.S. entered with the Korean War. Now she introduces us to two men who are part of that history, and one of them is very close to you, Juju.
This is a very personal story, Elizabeth, absolutely. I'm personally in awe of the two men you are about to meet. They are the tail end of the greatest generation. Nearly 500,000 American men and women fought in the Korean War. A staggering figure. 37,000 died there. And on this 60th anniversary, we're paying tribute to their bravery. Change the course of history.
You just went out and did the job you had to do.
Whatever they ask me to do to protect this country and protect our freedoms, I'll be there. And that's the way I felt once I put that uniform on.
They are the veterans. 480,000 U.S. soldiers deployed to a country many of them had never heard of.
And the major thing in the infantry is to overcome fear. And that's not easy.
To fight what is still called the Forgotten War.
There was no one waiting for you, no parades or no welcome.
I teased my Vietnam War friends by saying, hey, when you came home, they spit at you, they knew you were there. He said, when I came home, people said, where you been?
Richard Halfordy, a Missouri college student, felt called to duty. His only brother was killed in the early days of the war, and as a sole survivor, Richard had the choice not to go.
So why did you choose to fight anyway, when you didn't have to?
Au contraire, I had to. Because if what he did was right, then it would be wrong if I didn't. Simple as that. If your country calls, you go. And you do the honorable thing.
In Seoul, as an honored guest of the Korean government, a naval captain who fought with honor on a U.S. destroyer. He came here to revisit the land where his brother's blood was shed, to pay tribute at the Korean War Memorial, where the names of a fellow Boy Scout or his football teammates are etched in history.
But that's him.
Van Lee Halferty.
And a lot of good friends.
His young cousin, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Halferty, is currently serving in Korea on active duty. For my Korean-American family, meeting the Halfertys was a chance to say thanks.
Nice to meet you. Can I give you a hug?
My journey to the city where I was born is also part homecoming. For my family, traveling to Korea means reconnecting with family members who stayed behind. My 91-year-old great-uncle is the oldest surviving member of my family. My grandfather was captured during the Korean War and never seen again. My great-uncle is my family's esteemed elder. I'd always known he'd had a distinguished career as a diplomat, a high-ranking cabinet officer. But what I never knew until this trip was that he was a fighter pilot, one of just 10 Koreans who flew American P-51s in the Korean War. 8 of the 10 were shot down in combat. My great-uncle survived. A Korean war hero, much like the American soldier I'd come to know.
Captain Halferty, I want you to meet.
Introducing these two veterans was a personal honor.
For me, it is really a moving thing to be here with someone who served at the time when my brother was here. Many of my friends fell, as many of your friends fell. But we lived, and we are here to share memories and the good times. And so I'm really honored.
Sitting with my family, we listened as two old soldiers did what aging soldiers do. They told war stories.
Troops were on the line, and they would come in over the line and fire to give support to the troops.
Enemy coming down, refugees together coming down, so we must recognize which is which.
Yes.
But I think we did all right.
When old soldiers meet, it is a time of joy.
We never forget the old friends during the Korean War.
Their selfless call to duty has allowed South Korea to flourish economically since the war, something that Captain Halferty notices walking the streets of Seoul.
The Korean people took our blood and used it to a good purpose. Korea has made our sacrifice meaningful.
After Captain Halferty receives a final hero's salute, my family offers another embrace, a salute to our soldier. Two brave veterans of a fading generation that must not be forgotten.
Now, Captain Halferty told me that when he traveled with a group of veterans, many of them had never shared their battlefield stories. And I can tell you that everyone in my family had their jaw open as my great-uncle was describing those bombing runs. It was
what an amazing thing. And you didn't even know that until this trip.
We had no idea. It was incredibly profound.
To hear Captain Halferty describe when he came home from the Korean War and others, people saying, "Where have you been?"
Right.
Really is striking.
And Colin Powell was recently quoted as saying, it shouldn't be the forgotten war, it should be the forgotten victory, which is a lovely, end point.
What a great report, Juju. Thank you so much.
My
it was
pleasure.
really incredible.
우리 한국인들이 전쟁의 아픔을 견뎌내고 현재 세계 강국으로 성장한 지금이 대한민국 모습을 맞이할 수 있게 된 것은 한국 전쟁에 참전하여 소중한 목숨을 바쳐 싸운 참전 용사들의 희생이 있었기 때문일 것입니다. 그들의 피와 희생으로 우리에게 안겨준 자유의 유산을 우리는 영원히 잊지 않을 것입니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 원다였습니다.